So I have to accommodate that in this piece of Coosa. Hey guys, well the progress is continuing with the Coosa and the recoring process. I'm back to here. I'm about two or three feet from the stern of the boat now on the port side. All right, so today I got one more piece cut for the stern area. That leaves just that small portion. I need to clean out a little bit more at the end there to get rid of some of that the old core material. But we're very close. So this area here is one area that's just placed in place largely because of this through hull for the or through deck, I guess, the deck drain. So I have to accommodate that in this piece of Coosa. So looking forward towards the bow, we can see that all this area is basically filled with Coosa, and once again it needs to be filled around the perimeter of the pieces, but it's all done all the way up to the bow. There's a piece right at the bow that I'm looking at today. I've removed the core from that area, and I'm going to cut a piece of Coosa to fit in there. So as we get towards the bow, you can see I've filled in some of this area between the Coosa pieces. This is already to some degree ready to glass. I need to do a little bit more prep work, but that's near as ready for glass as we're going to see until we get the rest of the Coosa done. All right, and then we're going to move forward right to the bow. All right, we're right at the bow now. You can see I've got all the area up to nearly the tip of the bow completed, with the exception of that one small piece around the inner forestay chain plate. So that's the next piece that will be Coosa going forward. So on this side, pretty much everything is done except for right at the bow and right at the stern. You can see I had to cut those the one big piece into three smaller pieces just to make it conform to the contours underneath. There's a little bit of a crown to that area of the boat, so just allow everything to kind of sit in the right place. You can also see there's a little bit of water there, very small amount, but that's one issue with this cover. When you do get a driving rain, which is what we had today, you do get small amounts of water coming in. So on a day like this where there's that little chance of rain, I avoid epoxying, and that's what I did today. So on this side you can see that I haven't got that one piece of core material, or the old deck material, out, and the reason for that is that the knee beneath I have not finished glassing up. So we have to complete that now in order to put the chain plate in, and you can see that piece of starboard there, that's just a mock-up for the chain plate. But the area between the mock-up and the plywood knee is what we have to fill up with fiberglass. So we're just going to add layer upon layer until all that's filled up, and that should put us at the right angle. Layer that in, and then as we go we're going to expand each layer a little bit bigger onto this surface area, and laminate that in really super strong. That has to be done in order to continue the deck above that knee. So until that knee is glassed up, I'm unable to continue with the deck at that particular location. You can see there's a lot of junk in the way between here and the cockpit, but the area under that debris is completed, and it's just basically the same thing as the port side. It's not quite completed to the back. So this is the area on the other side of the cockpit. This is the starboard side. I epoxied that last piece of Coosa in yesterday, so the lead ingots are still sitting on top of it. I like to leave them for about 48 hours before I remove them. And so we're very close to the end of the Coosa project. So we're going to work on this deck drain today. The deck drain goes through the hull here, or through the deck here, sorry. And so we have to make the corresponding hole in the piece of Coosa to allow us to put that deck drain in there. So what I'm going to do is place this piece on top, go down below, which is going to be the engine room, and I'll just trace that onto there. All right, guys, welcome to the engine room. This is where that deck drain drained, and then out through this through hull. So what I'm going to do now is just mark this. Now the template is more than sufficient in size to fit the deck drain. So if we're off by a slight amount, it's not that huge a deal, but what we want to do is get as close as possible. So the next step is going to be to cut that out. So, all right, let's go up, and it's actually really warm here today. It's with the Humidex, it's about 40 degrees. The surprising thing is that when you come down below on this boat, it's rather cool. It doesn't get that hot in the cabin. People are saying, how are you able to work in these conditions with, you know, down inside the boat? Well, I guess the mass of the keel keeps things cool, along with the foam in the core acting as an insulator, but it is quite pleasant down here. But unfortunately, now it's time to go back out in the heat. It's not very pleasant. It's not very pleasant out there today. It's just sweltering. It's the humidity that's it's really about 31 degrees, but with the correction for the Humidex, it's apparently equivalent to well over 40. So not the nicest conditions to be working in. Anyways, let's go on to the next phase. All right, I'm back up on the deck. There's our circle. And let's just see how that's going to work out with our template. All right, here's our template, and here's that that mark we made on the piece. So you can see the template's a little bit larger, but that's okay because we're gonna taper this in on the Coosa. You'll see it as we continue the process, but that will work out just fine. That's not a problem. So that's the circle I've drawn with that template, and I'm just going to rough cut that with the multi-tool. So let's do that. All right, now we'll get the rotor out and make that a nice round hole. There we go. All right, let's go and see how this is going to fit on the deck. So here's our piece. That's roughly where it's going to go. We'll epoxy that in. This is our original deck fitting. Now, I'm undecided at this point whether to use these deck fittings, get some 316 stainless deck fittings, or exactly what to do. Or somebody suggested just make it up out of fiberglass, and I guess I would thread a barb in from the other side and just make it one solid piece of glass, and I really wouldn't need this piece at all. I'd just kind of build it up and maybe just slope it in towards the hole. But at any rate, that decision could be made later.